Hey everyone's Jackal Wolf back in Feed the Beasts Stoneblock 3 with another tutorial let's play video. Now, if you've been following along, you know that we are working our way through the quest book. Last episode, we were working towards making the mechanical crafters. It was a little bit difficult because we needed some polished rose quartz, which required us to have some rose quartz, which required us to have some nether quartz. Now, I took the path of exploration. I dug 1,000 blocks out so we got to the nether. I was kind of hoping that we were going to be able to get these exploration quests at least up to the nether dungeons, and we probably should have. The problem is I didn't actually finish my stone layers quest. I had to go up another probably about 30-40 blocks up into that first little staircase that we made. So we didn't end up getting that, but we did end up getting a piece of soul sand. It was probably super dangerous and, judging from the quest book, completely unnecessary because we can actually make soul sand here in our little base here by using the Create mixer with sand, a mob soul, and some water. Though that's not really a problem. We'll be doing that in a couple of episodes. This episode, though, what we're finally going to do is create ourselves the crushing wheels. This is going to get us close to automating or semi-automating most of our resource gathering machines. And all that's left after that for this tab is going to really be the cobblestone generator. And then, like I said, the little soul sand mob soul thing, which actually should be a fairly quick one to do. But before we get started, now would be a great time to click on that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. That way you're alerted every time I post a new video to my channel. Also, if you're enjoying this content and you want to support, click on the join button down below. Check out all the perks I got available for my community members, one of which is the supporter shout out. You might have seen those popping up through some of my previous videos. Alternately, you can check out my Patreon page. There's a link down below in the description. But enough about that. Let's get back to the video. So before we get started here, I should point out that I have upgraded my steam engine here. I've added a couple of extra layers. I've added a couple of extra water inputs. One thing that I did have to do to get this set up to work is I had to supply some extra power to one of the pumps beyond the power that I'm getting from the actual steam engine. It's not so much the steam engine can't handle it, is I just can't get it started with the hand crank without the little bit of extra help up there. So I did create myself a water wheel sort of off camera. It's super simple to do, so I'm not going to get too detailed into it, but to make a water wheel, it is a large cog wheel surrounded by oak slabs. And then to power it, it's just a source block of water. I like to put it in a little square up above. It kind of keeps it nice when it comes down. And you just make sure that flows on your water wheel in the direction that you want it to turn. One other thing that I did is I replaced the lava with the soul fire. I believe it's a little bit better of a heat source. Eventually, we're going to replace those with those blaze burners. But like I said previously, our main goal for this episode is to create those crushing wheels. If we jump into our quest book, crushing wheel, check out the recipe for that. You can see that we're going to need 21 of these mechanical crafters. We built those ones last episode. Just a reminder, it is a crafting table, a brass casing, and then the real tough thing though was the electron tube, where we had to go get some quartz. There are a couple of ways that you can do it. You can find it in the nether portion of the world in just regular nether rack, but you can also get it by washing soul sand. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these over to my steam engine area here. I've already kind of got some cogwheels set up to go. So we're going to start by building a base of 3, and then we're going to put 5 on top of that, and I'm going to make this connection immediately. This is going to give us an idea if we overpower our system, and it'll let us know at what point that we do that. So it's kind of easier to go and add some more power to it if we absolutely need to. This will take a fair bit of power. They are low power items. Like the kinetic stress is low, but we are using 21 of them. So that does make a huge difference. So I'm going to need to make a little bit of a platform here. So we've got a row of 3, a row of 5. We're going to need 2 more rows of 5. You can see I've already kind of broken that down. Let's go complete this here. All right, so this is now completely built. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, let's throw a torch up there. We've basically got a 3x3 crafting table with an extra side on each side. But we do have a power problem. So what we can do is we can start connecting a couple more of these steam engines to this set of gears here. So let's borrow this guy for now. We don't quite need him yet. We're going to go place a small cogwheel there, followed by a cogwheel on the bottom if we can get it. There we go. And then we're going to go Place an axle on that. All right, so that's blocked off that steam engine. So what we can do is add one more. So we're going to go 1, 2, and then all I got to do is fix this guy. He was sort of my backup. Put that there, and there we go. We've now got enough power coming off the steam engine to power this mechanical crafter, which is absolutely perfect. And the good thing is we're not going to be using this setup a lot. It's certainly not right at the moment. We will need these 21 to do a bunch of the chicken eggs, but we're not quite there yet anyways. One other thing we got to do to set this up properly, though, is this is going to automatically shove all the items together to create the item that we're looking for. We need to designate a proper output. So right now, we've technically got 3 outputs down at the bottom here. I don't want that. I kind of want the output to be right here on the side. And then what we're going to do is we're going to create ourselves a create wrench. Now, to make a create wrench, it is 3 gold sheets in a crafting table with a cogwheel and a stick. Now, using the wrench, we can change the direction that these mechanical crafters are moving their items. So these ones on the bottom, we're going to go hit it twice so it goes up. And then these ones here, they've got everything coming in, nothing's coming out. We're going to go bump them into a number of directions there. And then this last one is going to go push out into this chest. So basically, the majority of items are pushing down until they get to this point, and then they kind of shove everything over into this area here. Now that that's done, what we can do is we can take our resources for our crushing wheels. That is going to be 1 stone block. There's a bunch of different stones that will work for it. I've just got some regular stone from a furnace. We're going to need 4 wood planks. So 1, 2, 3, 4 around the stone block. And then the other 16 places are all going to be andesite alloys. Once that's complete, we've got power to our system. It's going to start creating those crushing wheels. You can see the animation is actually kind of cool. Shoves them all together, puts them into that last block, creates the crushing wheel, and then bingo bango, our crushing wheel is over here. Now I'm going to take this down for the moment. It's just eating up a bunch of power. We don't need it to be doing that right now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our crushing wheel. Actually, what I'm going to do first is fix these wheels here. And then we're going to go, I believe it was a small cogwheel there, and then a larger cogwheel on our steam engine. So the one thing you've really got to remember with the setup for the crushing wheels is that you're going to need 2 gears that are rotating into each other with a fair amount of distance between them. These guys here are too close together, so you can't actually put the second cogwheel there. So you're going to need a little bit of distance. This one would actually be really, really nice if you could do it on this one. But I've got one here that's a big one spinning around to the inside. And then you need 3 to kind of get the spin in the right order. That way, both of them are kind of turning to the inside. So we're going to go connect this crushing wheel to that one, this crushing wheel to that one, and it looks like I've overstressed it again. So we're going to do the same thing we did before. There you go. We've now got power to our crushing wheels. And if we were to take some gravel, I've got a bunch of gravel here to start processing. As a demonstration, we're going to go take one. I'm going to go toss it up there. You can see as the gravel goes through the system, it gets crushed down. We picked up some coal. Do another one. There you go. Actually, we got some coal and some raw osmium in that case. All right, that is really, really cool. This is kind of a little bit of a process, though, doing it manually by hand. What I want to do is kind of automate this a bit. So what we're going to do is be careful of the wheels. They are super dangerous as well. It is very easy to die. Let's go create a space down here. I'm actually not going to go get those. We're going to go put a chest. And then what we're going to do is we're going to create some chutes. Now, to create a chute, it is 2 iron sheets and 1 iron ingot. That gives us 4 chutes, which is perfect. That's going to give us a lot of opportunity to work with this. We're going to go take one of those chutes, place it on top of the chest. That way, anything that falls down, it's basically like a hopper. The nice thing about the chutes, though, is it also drops items. So let's actually clear a little bit of extra space here out of my ceiling. And then we are very carefully going to build our way up. So then we can take our chute and we can actually place it right on top of the crushing wheel. And then we're going to go take our chest. Now, something to be aware of, if you place this chute 1 block above the crushing wheels, it's just going to take everything in the chest and throw it out, which may work in the short term. But for a more controlled system, having the chute directly on top of the crushing wheels will only release 16 of the gravel at a time. So what we're going to do is we're going to go throw that gravel into that chest. And then we're going to come back down here. And then we can actually use our wrench. We can right click on these chutes. That puts a little bit of a glass window in there. I can see that right now it's crushing gravel. If we look up here, we can see that it just went down by 16. That was some pretty good timing right there. It's going to do 16 at a time, which is absolutely perfect. If we give this a little bit of time, we can go check our chest there. It's going to have a bunch of resources. All right, so that's been a couple of cycles. Open that up. And yeah, there you go. We've got some zinc. We've got some lead. We got some tin, osmium, bauxite, coal, iron. So this is going to get us a lot of the resources that we're looking for. So before we forget, let's go collect a bunch of these quests. We've got our crushing wheel, random reward, seared bricks, not super important anymore. Crushing wheel, random reward, personal shrinking device. Interesting. In any case though, we did 2 things on the Create today. We did the water wheel, random reward, steel casing. That might come in handy in a bit. And then the wrench, random reward, basic chemical tank, not super useful at the moment. Still a couple things to do on the Create tab, but next episode we're going to be back on the Getting Started tab. We're going to do as many of these cobble gens as we can. Once we get cobble gens in our world, we'll be able to truly automate our resource gathering system here. That's going to be it for this one, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys next time. Good boy.